We are following two breaking news stories right here in the KHQ newsroom. Thank you so much for clicking in and joining us. I am Ken McGrath. I want to pass along two of those stories right now from my assignment editor, Nikki Cerenzia, just confirming two stories, a fire in Spokane Valley and a bank robbery on North Market. And that's where I want to start with that bank robbery at Banner Bank on North Market just a short time ago. Let me tell you what authorities are telling us. They're telling us that a white male with tan skin between the ages of 40 and 50 walked into the bank with a note. The suspect was wearing dark short sleeved shirt, a dark colored baseball hat, and has short brown hair. We do have a crew en route to the scene. If they're not there already, they will be there momentarily to provide us the very latest images and information from the scene. If you know anything that can help authorities solve this crime, you're asked to call a crime check 456-2233 or dial 911. So if you live in that area, if you work in that area, you're wondering what that police activity may be, it is in fact a bank robbery. Police are searching for that suspect right now. Okay, now I want to tell you about another breaking news story that I'm learning about. This one is in Spokane Valley on East 20th and South Pioneer. We have confirmed this fire with Bill Clifford. It initially came across the scanners as a full structure fire. It turned into a working fire. We're understanding that the fire started in a garage and then spread to a house. We do have KHQ local news reporter Lindsay Nadrich en route to that breaking news scene. She will provide more information for you on Twitter, Facebook, and we will update the story right here on KHQ.com if it turns out to be a big deal. Okay, now to a big story that is making national headlines. We've been covering the story ever since it happened. Of course, I'm talking about that Amber Alert. Let me let you look at the three pictures that you need to see. The left picture is a suspect, and the two people that you see are believed to be held captive by this man. Let me read you the very latest information we're getting from the San Diego County Sheriff's Office. They're telling us at this hour that a car belonging to the murder suspect that you're looking at on the left-hand side, murder suspect James DiMaggio, his car, one of the cars that belonged to him, has been found in a remote location outside of Cascade, Idaho. Witnesses on horseback reported seeing a man and a teenager matching the description of DiMaggio and 16-year-old Hannah Anderson. The witnesses notified law enforcement authorities in the area on Thursday, which would have been yesterday. A ground search was initiated, and a car matching the Nissan of DiMaggio was found this morning without any license plate. A check of the car's VIN number on the windshield was also done and confirmed that it was in fact DiMaggio's vehicle. On Friday morning, this morning, the Sheriff's Homicide Detail was notified of the discovery. The Valley County Sheriff's Office, the Ada County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, Idaho State Police, U.S. Customs Border Protection, U.S. Marshal's Office are all assisting the San Diego County Sheriff's Department at this hour in the continuing search for these three people. The Amber Alert remains in effect for Hannah Anderson and Ethan Anderson. Call 911 if you think that you're able to help police, even if you think that you may have saw them. You know, any sort of tip that you can give law enforcement, they will go off. Of. I will tell you this, there were a ton of tips in Oregon, a ton of tips here in Washington State. None of those have panned out to be anything significant. The most significant detail is the latest, with his vehicle being found in that remote part of Idaho. Our attention is on this story. Our attention is going to stay on this story. You may have been seeing the reader boards as you drive along the freeways, alerting you to this breaking news story, and we're going to continue to work on this right now. The producer for the 5 and 6 o'clock newscast, Kaylin Gimber, is in the studio right now. She's at her desk. She is putting together the very latest for you tonight. I encourage all of you to watch the broadcast on KHQ Local News tonight, 5 and 6, and a complete wrap of today's news on KHQ Local News 11 at 11. And of course, you can get all of your news all the time right here, right now on KHQ.com. All right? Okay, very busy news day right here and across the nation and in Washington, D.C. Just a short time ago, President Barack Obama went in front of the media there at the White House and Sultan in front of millions of Americans, talking about a range of issues from Edward Snowden to the NSA surveillance program to the Federal Reserve lead. Who will lead the Federal Reserve? Let me just read a few points from this press conference that you're looking at that you can watch right now on KHQ.com in its entirety. When it comes to U.S.-Russian relations, President Barack Obama says he's encouraging Russian President Vladimir Putin to, quote, think forward instead of backwards. At this news conference, Obama said progress toward better relations with Russia was being made until Putin regained the Russian presidency. Now he says there are a number of emerging difficulties on issues including Syria and human rights. And Russia's decision to grant asylum to national security agents leaker Edward Snowden helped bring about the cancellation of next month's planned summit. The president also talked about gay rights issues in Russia, talking about a boycott, saying that there will be no boycott in the Olympics in Russia because a lot of athletes are in fact gay. They are going to be in a country where they do not support gays. So the president addressing that. The president also making it clear that he has no intention of stopping the daily collection of phone records from millions of Americans, but he's promising, quote, appropriate reforms, unquote. President Barack Obama also saying he doesn't think congressional Republicans will force a government shutdown in this fall's budget fight. He also talked about bringing justice for those responsible to last year's deadly assault on the U.S. diplomatic post in Benghazi, Libya. And I'll talk to you about this one more time. President Barack Obama says he has a range of outstanding candidates to lead the Federal Reserve and calls Lawrence Summers and Janet Yellen highly qualified to become the next Fed chair. Again, lots of issues the president talking about. You can watch this press conference that he gave right here, right now on KHQ.com. It is on the homepage. We've also included all of the Associated Press stories inside of this story to give you a full background of everything our president talked about. Okay, I want to talk about some local news now, and I want to update all of you on that bizarre motorcycle crash in downtown Spokane. We've been telling you about this all day long here on KHQ.com, and right now we're awaiting the victim's condition. All we know is that she is in serious condition when she was taken to the hospital, critical condition at one point, I believe, and at this hour we're just waiting on finding out what happened about this motorcycle crash and what's going to happen to the motorcyclist. The crash happened about at 12:30 this morning near the intersection of 3rd and Lincoln. The woman was taken to the hospital, like I just told you. The off-ramp was closed for about an hour while authorities investigated. The woman has not been identified. Again, we are waiting the press release on the very latest with this story. And of course, we'll update you right here on KHQ.com and on KHQ Local News at 5 and 6. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to go back to my computer. I'm going to keep working hard for all of you. We'll see you tonight. Have a great weekend.